Hi, welcome back to my new channel. My name is Maurice Braxton. Evangelism for God is the channel where we take Satan head on, expose him and his devices so that we can walk in victory. And if you don't know the Lord, don't go nowhere, because this is a no judgment channel where I just talk about spiritual issues so that even if you don't know the Lord, you can make a conscious decision on if you want to give your life to him. I'm just trying to keep it simple. I talk about issues that the church don't want to talk about a lot of times. And let me get into an issue about dating when I first came to the Lord, because I think this will help somebody out there. Now, before I came to the Lord, when did I come? Yeah, before I came to the Lord, about almost a year before I came to the Lord, I was dating someone and ended up getting her pregnant and had a son with her. I didn't want to be with her. I didn't want to go any further with her. It was just something. I was young. I was playing the field. I was out there goofing around and got somebody pregnant, and she loved me and wanted to be with me. And then shortly thereafter, I get saved and give my life to the Lord. And now I'm wrestling with what to do, because I got to really see how she was, and we just really weren't truly not compatible. And I gave my life to the Lord, and I sat there, and I did not want the child. I tried to get her to get an abortion. I tried to get her to just get rid of this child. And she figured that if I have this child, I can keep him. And so after he was born, I said to myself, well, I'm just not going to come around. I don't need to, I just will be, a father that would abandon a child and never see it. But guess what? God convicted me, spoke to me during one of the church services when the pastor was talking about baby, and about he gave this story about a rose garden, and about how the garden that the keeper was going on vacation, and the keeper asked him to watch the rose garden while he was gone. But there was one special rose back there that he wanted him to keep an eye on and take special care of it. So this guy took care of the rose and all the roses like he was supposed to. And then after several weeks, after 1 week, one day he came back and went back there to tend to that special rose. It was gone. And he was panicking and worried and didn't know what to do. And then the keeper says, you did your job. That was my rose. I came back for it. And I can't remember how that whole story goes. But the point of the story is that a child, what he was saying, what the pastor was saying this day, is that a child is a gift from God. And I didn't know that. I was like, whoa, kids are a gift from God? I didn't know that. And I was like, wow, God gave me a gift? I never had a gift like that, so it kind of changed. And he talked about, and then he went on to talk about, for those of you out there that have walked out on your kids, he said, God has got a spiritual blackboard and he's got your name on it. And every time that mother that is out there that is struggling to buy diapers, or waking up in the middle of the night trying to make milk, and she's trying to, gotta go to work and all of this stuff and all of these struggles, God is putting a check mark by your name. Now I heard that, I was like, whoa, wait a minute now. This pastor got crazy here. This is crazy. And I was scared, but at the same time I was happy. And then God actually spoke to me, my spirit. He spoke to me and said, you can't serve me and walk away from him. You can't serve me and walk away from him. You cannot serve me and call yourself a Christian and walk away from him. I was convicted. And then to top it off, my best friend told me, when I was telling him I was just going to walk away from my child, he told me that, why would you want to walk away from your child when I watched you grow up and struggle not having your dad? See, my dad committed suicide. My mother committed suicide at age 3. My dad was murdered at age 4. And it was a struggle with me not having my parents. And my best friend told me, I watched you struggle without your parents growing up. So why would you want to do that to him? So you add that in with the sermon I heard. Oh, I was convicted. I was convicted, and that changed my whole perspective. So I began to make sure I take care of him, and I was active and things like that. And then I started thinking like, well, maybe I should just marry her and do the right thing. And I had people within the church realm telling me, yeah, you should be married. You don't need to be having kids out of wedlock and this and that and out fornicating and this and that. And I didn't know what to do. And I was seeking counsel. But I knew there was one associate pastor that was in school for counseling. And I would watch him because I was the custodian at the church. And I would watch him go in and take people on counsel all the time. And I was just like, man, there's no one to talk to. But maybe I'll talk to Reverend McIntosh. That was his name. And I went in and I set up an appointment to talk with him. And he guided me. He didn't give me what, because in counseling, you don't tell the person the decision they make. You just guide them. That's why I decided, because after realizing in the church realm that there's not enough counseling within the church realm. That's why I went to school for counseling myself. And I ended up continue with prayer. And I remember that new year came. And I remember once I was called too, shortly thereafter to preach. I knew I was called to the ministry. And I all of these decisions came. And I went to this Reverend McIntosh asking him, should I marry this girl? What do I do? I got a preacher. She, I'm thinking like, will she be the type of woman that I need by my side if I go into the ministry? And I'm thinking all this and that. And he was basically, God's going to guide you. And God did. Because as I prepared my first, what they call a trial sermon, as I prepared this trial sermon, God was showing me. And the message he gave me was from Hebrews chapter 12, where we're talking about lay aside every weight, the sin that so easily besets you. And I realized, there was people that he showed me, you're going to have to let, and as I spoke this message, you're going to have to let certain people go. And he more so told me, you can still be a father to that child, but you don't have to be with her. You're going to have to let her go. And I had a peace about it. And I let her go. And I told her, and she knew, even though she fought it and she resisted it, but she had given her life to the Lord shortly thereafter. And she decided to go ahead and give her life to the Lord. And then she realized that she wasn't meant to be with me. And she knew. And I didn't know she came to my trial sermon that day. I did not know, because I was so nervous. The church was packed. I was nervous. And people came up shaking my hand and giving me hugs afterwards. And then here she come. And what she said was, part of that message was about me, wasn't it? And I didn't know what to say. I was just like, man, I didn't say anything. But she knew. And just to see how she walked out of the church, it was like she was defeated. She knew. But when God speaks, he speaks. And for somebody out there, when you seek him, seek wise counsel. You can't go to any and everybody for counsel. Some people are not capable of counsel. Some people, they mean well, but their life is in total disarray in a way that you need godly counsel. And you don't need a whole lot. You need to just be able to limit it to a couple of people, a source. You don't need 5, 6, 7, 8 opinions. That's like too many. You want to be able to hear from God. Don't make the decision and marry somebody that you feel in your heart that you don't really want to be with. You feel that something's not right. Don't do it. It will be, you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't do it. You don't want to go into a marriage like that. You don't want to do that. If God is showing you something about a person, it's okay to wait. Hold them off. If they're trying to rush you into an engagement, you're engaged and they're trying to rush the marriage and things like that. No, Hold off until you hear from God. One of my favorite preachers, Dr. Charles Stanley, one of the best messages I heard back in the day when I was a young Christian like that was when it's wise to wait. And that message is still on YouTube, so look them up. But there's a time to wait. Don't destroy yourself. Don't allow the enemy to masquerade himself as an angel of light with somebody to make you think that this person is the best that you can do. When you know in your heart something's not right, don't do it. It may be a lie from Satan. He may be coming as an angel of light. Don't allow yourself to be deceived, because I'm telling you, it's better to be alone than to be married to somebody and be miserable just because you want to have company and have someone around. Trust me, you don't want to do that. So if you like this video, I ask that you subscribe. I talk about issues, like I say, a lot of issues, and I have a lot to share and testimonies because I've been through a lot. When you witness your own mother's murder, you wake up and hear the day your father was murdered, and there's so much more that goes on. I have a lot of experiences that I share and I incorporate it with what I've learned in my schooling, and I put it all together, and I just try to help somebody out there to help you make a better conscious decision, because I didn't have a dad to guide me to make better decisions and help make better decisions in life. I was an introvert. It was horrible, and a lot of things just went on. But I just want to share what God has done. So if you want to just continue on the journey, I ask that you subscribe, hit the like button, and until next time, take care and God bless.